I have created a list of well-known and not so well-known games that every beginner should try and platinum. I know it's hard trying to pick what game to play and platinum next, right? You have recommendations from your friends, from forums, and from annoying YouTubers. Decision paralysis is a real thing. Which games actually deserve your time? Well, here is 10 games I think you should play and try and platinum. Most are easy, some are hard, but they're all great games. We are starting this list off with a retro forgotten game, Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. This is a remaster of a game that came out 21 years ago in 2002. Plays Kyle Katarn, a Jedi who has left the Jedi Order. It follows his journey to becoming a Jedi Master once again. What I love about this game is how the gameplay naturally progresses. You start out only using blaster rifles and grenades to fight stormtroopers, but then you progress to slaughtering Sith assassins, sometimes 3 or 4 at once. It has a very different lightsaber combat system compared with the modern games, and yes, you and enemies actually die from one hit from a lightsaber. Talk about realistic, it's the best we're gonna get. The Platinum Trophy will take you between 15 to 25 hours, depending on how cheeky you want to be. If you do it legitimately, it'll take you 2 playthroughs, 1 on the hardest difficulty, and it'll probably be about a 5 out of 10. However, if it is proving too difficult, or you just can't be arsed with the extra run, we've all been there, don't worry. There is an exploit for the hardest difficulty, which means you could actually do it in 1 playthrough if you wanted to. I don't care how you do it, you do you, brah. For our next game, we're going to jump into one of the very first PS5 exclusives, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. What, you don't have a PS5 yet? Orcs.
Gonna cry.
Still one of the best looking games on PlayStation 5 to date. Rejoin Ratchet & Clank with some new faces across a vast amount of worlds. If you play Ratchet & Clank, you know the deal. You get a ton of unique weapons to blast away loads of funny looking guys, and you have a great time doing it. It's fun, it's cute, and it's addictive. And it's actually one of the shorter Ratchet & Clank Platinum trophies out there, which can be beaten in 10 hours with a difficulty of 2 out of 10 and only 1 playthrough. Now before we move on to the third game in the list, I just want to say, don't forget to drop a saucy little like on this video. Helps your boy out a lot. I think I'm really showing my age with a lot of the games on this list. The next game is the remaster of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Call of Duty has always been a big franchise, but if you want to play the game that blew COD up into the big leagues, this is the game. Thankfully, there's no multiplayer trophies for this one. All you have to do is experience the gritty story. Now, there's a lot of easy games on this list. I'm not going to lie, this game can be very, very tough. I recorded my entire Platinum Trophy experience of this game, and it did almost break me. The Mile High Club is the epilogue of the game, and it took me over 200 attempts to beat. But rest assured, there is actually an exploit there, which you can use to skip the hardest difficulty if you are so inclined and you just want to enjoy the game for what it is. Personally, I think you should go for the challenge. It'll make or break you. It'll take you 20 to 30 hours, 2 playthroughs with difficulty of 4 out of 10 if you're going to use the exploit. If you're not going to use the exploit, it is a 7 out of 10. The Last of Us is still in my top 3 video games of all time. It has one of the most compelling stories ever told in a video game with some intense gameplay. The Last of Us is a PS5 remake / remaster of sorts, as graphically the game has been completely rebuilt, but everything else remains exactly the same. What makes this version of the game so beginner friendly is the fact that they removed all of the difficulty trophies, so you can just experience the game how you want. I still recommend playing it on hard. It's a manageable difficulty, but it does help to create some intense and rewarding gameplay moments. The Last of Us Part 1 can be completed in 30 hours in 1 playthrough with a difficulty of 3 out of 10. Before we continue, I just want to take a quick second to talk about the sponsor of this video, Brilliantorg. Now this video is tailored for beginner trophy hunters, people who are new to trophies and want a bit of guidance from someone who knows their way around the trophy hunting lifestyle a little bit. We're all beginners in something, right? And that is why I'm genuinely proud to be working with Brilliant.org. It is an interactive learning platform that can help you improve skills in maths and science and so much more. But not only that, for the average person, it can improve your day-to-day brain performance and problem solving skills. I've been using Brilliant.org for 2 months now, and I've noticed a massive improvement in my quick time problem solving. So Brilliant contains thousands of short and long lessons that keep you engaged and push you to test yourself. Literally anyone can use this, from students to professionals, or just someone looking to get better at something. New challenges are the spice of life, right? If this sounds like your cup of tea, you can try it for free for 30 days by visiting brilliant.org/platinumbro, and the first 200 people who click my link will receive 20% off their annual subscription. Alright, thanks for listening. Let's continue with some more amazing Platinum trophies. I've decided to throw a completely unexpected indie game in here, which is Dagger Hood. There is a ton of easy, awful games out there with the trophy list just built to increase sales, and the games are just hollow shells, just like me. Dagger Hood came out a few years ago around the time of the easy Platinum Trophy spam, but it's actually a really fun, great platformer. And this is from someone who doesn't even enjoy platformers at all. It's cute and refreshing, and you can add a fast, fun Platinum to your list, and I wouldn't feel bad about it. It'll take you about an hour to Platinum, which is pretty sweet. You can Platinum this game faster than it takes to set up a PlayStation VR. Can you remember when Far Cry was good? Yeah, me neither. Far Cry 3 was the last decent-ish Far Cry game, if you ask me. It is carried by an iconic villain, but if you want to have a good time in an open world, this is for you. It's a first-person shooter, gives you a lot of freedom on how you want to tackle the Platinum Trophy and its story and the missions. Thankfully, it is quite short, so it doesn't overstay its welcome, unlike the later editions in the series, and it can be complete in 20 hours with 1 playthrough and difficulty of 3 out of 10. If you've watched the podcast or any trophy and update videos from me, you know I can't not include Outriders in a list about epic games with fun Platinum Trophies. Outriders is a 3-player, super-powered looter-shooter game. The story itself is basic, but it's just a vessel for you to level up your character throughout this world. The real fun begins in the end game, but that doesn't mean you can't enjoy the story. Thankfully, with the DLC, you can actually start at level 30 now, which means you can enjoy the end game progression, the end game loot so much sooner, and you can blast to the platinum if you so wish. There's several classes with hundreds of guns and abilities. You can really create your own unique build, and it's so fun with friends. Outriders will take you one playthrough with difficult 3 out of 10 and a platinum trophy time of about 45 hours. Be warned though, the DLC is an extra 30 hours. Number 8 on the list is the cat game Stray. Take control of a cat in the cyberpunk world. I haven't played this one yet, but I've heard nothing but positive things. It's a great experience which is very easy. It can be completed in 2 playthroughs in just 8 hours with a difficulty of 3 out of 10. Number 9 is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles The Cowabunga Collection. Jump back in time with the classic TMNT arcade games. It contains 14 games released from 1989 and 1994. We are really hitting retro territory here, and if this isn't retro, I don't know what is. The platinum trophy can be tackled in a few different ways, but ultimately, if you're struggling on any of the base 14 levels, there's actually in-game cheats which you can use which don't affect your trophies. So if you want to just breeze through it, you can actually do it in about 2-3 hours, or if you want to have some fun with it and actually try and beat the old school hard arcade games, it's probably going to take you closer to 20 hours. So number 10, the majority of the games in this list are pretty easy. A hard game isn't necessarily not beginner friendly though, which is why I'm going to recommend Crash Bandicoot. This is the perfect first hard platinum trophy for any trophy hunter out there. It can be annoying and frustrating. I mean, I lost my cool way too many times playing it.
My god, this jump is making me want to jump off a fucking cliff.
But it's a classic game and beating it is just so rewarding. And you know what? If you can beat Stormy Ascent, you're doing better than me because I gave up on that shit. Due to the gems and the speed relics, it will take you 3 playthroughs, but you'll end up playing each level probably between 10 and 50 times depending on how good you are. It has a difficulty of a 6 out of 10. You can complete it in between 15 and 25 hours depending on your skill, and then that's it. If you have a platinum trophy you'll be proud of. If you want to see more videos like this on the channel, let's get this video to 500 likes. Special thanks to my patrons and the video sponsor Brilliantorg. Peace.